Hi, everybody. My name is Raul. I'm here with the Michigan Science Center, and today we're going to be making and working with a non-Newtonian fluid, and you may know this as Oobleck. So, what is a non-Newtonian fluid? Well, basically, a non-Newtonian fluid is a fluid that doesn't act as either a solid or a liquid. It depends on how much pressure you put on there. So, if you add pressure, it acts like a solid. If you remove pressure, it acts like a liquid. And that's exactly what we're going to be making today. So you can actually find what I have here in your home. First of all, you want to measure out 1 cup of cornstarch, measure out 1 cup of water, get yourself a nice big bowl like this, and something to stir with. Now let's come in a little bit closer to see how to prepare our oobleck and what we can do with it. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with this experiment. The first thing you want to go ahead and do is grab your cornstarch and put it inside of the bowl, like so. You want to be cautious, though. You do not want to do the same thing with the water. If you add too much water, you will be having a really soupy oobleck that won't work as well as it could. So here's what I do. I grab my stirring rod, and I gradually add water while mixing. So let's add just a little bit here, and mix as we go. This will ensure that I get the perfect amount of water in there. Of course, I measured 1 cup to 1 cup, but you might need more, you might need a little bit less. So it all depends on your situation here. And you can already start to see the oobleck forming in there. Let's add some water over here now. Mix that all in. And I'm going to keep mixing and adding water until we have a consistency that looks like thickened milk. And I'm actually going to go ahead and fast forward here so that you see the final product. Remember, keep adding your water until you see that consistency. Don't add too much. So let's see what the final product would look like after I add all the water and mix it in with my cornstarch. Check this out. Okay, so I decided to zoom in a little bit closer so we see the consistency a little bit better. I'm going to go ahead and manipulate it here with my stirring rod. And I'm going to add a little pressure as I take it off. As I remove that pressure, you see it acts like a liquid, right? But let's go ahead and start poking the oobleck to see how it reacts. Look at that. It is acting as a solid. You can even almost cut it, as you can see here. It's a really cool thing to play with. Again, this is safe to go ahead and work with your hands, of course. But what if we use sound to manipulate this? Do you think that this would have a big effect on how it reacts? Well, I actually have a sine wave generator. Let's go ahead and add our oobleck in there to see how that works. Okay, so right in front of me, I have my oobleck. I have a sine wave generator, which is going to send sound into my very special speaker. My speaker is different from what you have at home, though. Mine has a waterproof cap, something that is called hydrophobic. It is scared of water. And yours at home do not. So if you add oobleck to yours, you're probably going to damage your speaker. So this part of the experiment, I would not recommend you do without your parents' permission. So I'm turning up the volume here, and you can already see it kind of moving. But check this out. I'm going to add my oobleck in there, and I'm going to be using that sound to make that oobleck dance. As soon as it hits it, you can see that reaction. Now, why is this happening? It is because of constructive and destructive interference. So constructive interference is when two waves come together and they help each other out, they become bigger. Destructive interference is the opposite. When they come together, they cancel each other out. Now, I'm going to go ahead and turn up the wavelength so it's a higher pitch. And you notice that the oobleck reacts a little bit differently too. Those waves are much, much smaller, as opposed to when I go right back down, we have a lower wavelength. We see more movement in our oobleck. Really fun stuff. Another thing I like to do, if you do decide to do this at home, is kind of move it around with my hands. It does feel like a solid. And then when you turn it off, it acts as a liquid. So once again, be very careful and ask for your parents' permission. All right, everybody. I hope you all enjoyed our non-Newtonian fluid experiment. Go ahead and make some oobleck at home. Make sure that you tag the Michigan Science Center. We want to see what you guys are doing. And if you want to see more content like this, make sure that you visit our website at www.mi-sci.org/@-home science. I will see you in the next video. Thanks.